you so much. It's a great pleasure and privilege to be here. And I have not yet taken the helm. I'm sort of in training. Woody is still, bless his heart, brilliantly running New Federal Theater and training me, and I'm feel like I'm sitting at the feet of the master. I'm very, very grateful. No, no, no. If it was, I didn't know it. So no, I don't think so. Probably COVID did, because COVID stopped everything. Everything was under lockdown at the beginning. I mean, everything. This New York City was quiet. Everybody was inside. Um, and it gave people a lot of time to think, time to contemplate. And that time stretched into, we're still in it. It's still impacting the industry. It has brought about great transformation, great loss, clarity, and yeah, so I think it gave space and time to contemplate and realize, oh, it's time. It's time for change. Well, we were in the middle of Two Can Play by Trevor Rohn, the late Trevor Rohn, a comedy dealing with immigration. Uh, and I think maybe 2 weeks into the run, it was shut down, it was locked down. Um, so everything stopped and the office still hasn't opened. Um, a play about Miles Davis was going to be done, a world premiere of a new play, and that was locked down, that was not done. So New Federal Theater, like all of us, has been impacted by COVID. And like so many people, we have converted to doing our programming digitally and gone into doing retrospective work, or rapping with the artist, or conversations with artists, or revisiting very popular plays during the 50-year history, which are still very, very relevant for today. So the class that is never full is the beginning acting class, but the acting class and the playwriting class, they're always full to capacity. And in March, we're going to initiate a training for stage managers and technicians on learning the digital platform, learning the stream platform. That's going to be a 7-week class where you will learn how to facilitate on Zoom and streaming, how to heighten your production values on various streaming platforms, editing, throwing in lights, sound, pre-recorded and live recorded. So we're going to initiate that like at the beginning of March. So that'll be something new. From January until June 2021 is we're going to do all virtual programming. But this time we felt like, let's do a 2-week rehearsal, record it, edit, and then show it. So it's about a 3-week process. So, that's the thing about COVID. COVID is the age of COVID. It's like, Dickens, where he says it was the worst of times, it was the best of times. And it's sort of like it was the worst of times, but it was the best of times. It's it's bad, horrible, and yet there's a deliciousness, there's time, there's look at all that we're doing and doing it well and mastering this digital platform and doing a lot of plays that we really could not do in in the actual theater space because of lack of funding, all and everything and everything and everything. So yeah. I think the state, I think the government is going to mandate um, what what the guidelines are, what the parameters are, not the theaters. Probably in July, the uh, theater, our theater has the fiscal year ends June 30th. So June 30th, this fiscal year will end and a new one will begin. And that's probably when I will start my work. Michael Goldstein, who designed our website, he's working on a database of 50 years of New Federal Theater. And he was astounded because New Federal Theater had done 14 plays, 14 productions in 1983-84. And when I mentioned that to Woody, he said, wow, he said, we had several spaces at that time. And I remember when they did 12 productions and Woody said, yes, but we weren't paying anybody. And even if they were showcases or you're making $10 or $15, you were going from here to there doing work. It was fabulous. And now you go to 2020 and we're doing 1 or 2 plays a season with 1 or 2 people in them. So I feel, and the white spaces are birthing work by people of color and putting on plays by people of color to such an extent that you would think they are theaters of color, and they're not. And so in a sense, the theaters of color are being diminished in terms of productivity, because that diminishment, you need funding and infrastructure. So what was happening in the 90s or the 80s is not happening in 2021. So we gotta pay attention to the infrastructure. 1 or 2 people, 2 people, 2 or 3 people cannot do this job. You need development officers. You need marketing and communications. You need administrative assistants. You need staff. You need a team of people who are on a career track to do this work in arts administration. You need to triple or quadruple the budgets annually so you can do 3, 4 character plays and pay pension and health and a fair salary and advertise it, or that so you raise the branding and the visibility of New Federal so people don't say, is it still around? If you look at the history of New Federal Theater, it birthed new work. J.E. Franklin, Intezaki Shange, Taking a Miss Janie, it birthed Ron Milner, What the Wine Cellars Buy. It birthed new work, and we've got to get back to that. So contemplating how to have at least 2 younger people, emerging playwrights in residency to develop some kind of work, new work. No, I don't. Well, I'm a positive person. Life is my friend. I've always seen the glass half full, always. I've always been blessed, always. I always count my blessings, always. I walk in gratitude. Now, never did I, Elizabeth Van Dyke, ever have on my bucket list, I wanted to be an artistic director of New Federal Theater. Never. If somebody had said, what do I want? I would want a hit show that I directed in New York City that was blew up, and I would get calls as a director. Especially at this point in stage in my life. God, divine providence, had other plans. I got what I call an assignment. This is my assignment. Doubt, fear comes from my small ego self, doubting whether I can I do this? That's not the question. The question is get out of your way so that that frequency can work through you. Woody King has done this for 50 years. He believes without a shadow of a doubt, I can do it and do it well. My mother, one of the most extraordinary human beings I've ever known, had aspiration. She aspired and aspired and aspired and aspired. So I could be here today. Me, a little Black girl. So I am aspiring, claiming our rightful place, claiming it. And I stay in prayer. I stay in prayer. And I know God never fails. Never. Never.